Welcome back. You're watching Taking Stock. We are discussing market fundamentals with Nilesh Shah of Kotak Mutual Fund. Let's discuss the F&O picture and the technicals of this market. Siddharth Bhamre of Angel Broking now joins us. Siddharth, hi. Good to have you on the show. So, really, the big question for me, what next? 8,000 or 8,500?
Hi Anuj, last week most of the people you asked that where market is heading, and that time I think market was after this Greece situation was above 8,500, and I think 99% of your participants said 9,000. I'm sure that won't be the case now. There are people who are now again talking about below 8,000 levels. Our take on this is that we have not generated a trade on Nifty since quite some time, and it remains status quo, and reason being that FI's data is quite confusing. Whatever long positions they formed in index futures in beginning of July series, last 4-5 trading sessions, most of that positions have got unwound, and we are seeing traces of formation of short positions. Interestingly, there is no panic situation in market despite 2% fall the other day. We are seeing IVs are quite in a comfort zone of around 16 to 17%. At the same time, we didn't see significant formation of long positions or short positions in large cap stocks last week. But now in current week, we did see that a lot of names are seeing formation of short position, especially IT space. So we are not very comfortable of going long or short in Nifty with a clear-cut direction. I think it's a range-bound market. Around 8,000, you will see people talking about 7,500. At 8,500, you will talk. People will talk about 9,000. I think neither of them is coming in hurry.
Okay, that's an interesting observation you made, Siddharth, and that just tells us how opinions and tides turn before you know it. In terms of individual stocks, though, you had some participation this week in some of the capital goods names, in a few stocks in the mid-cap space as well. Anything fresh that you would advise buying into next week?
Yeah, so we maintain our stance, what we have been doing since last 2 weeks about PSU banks, and last 1 week, if you see, they have been outperformer with good bounce back. So we have been recommending names like Union Bank, Canara Bank of late. One more stock among the PSU space, a large cap stock which is showing a lot of strength and some formation of long position is PNB. So that is one stock which we would like to go long and trade with positive bias. We are not very positive on private sector space. I'm not saying that there will be a big correction, but PSU would outperform. But one stock which is showing strength and is showing with decent volumes is IDFC. I think IDFC can be bought instead of running behind Axis Bank or ICICI Bank. That is one stock which you can look for. We are also shorting some of the names which we are not very comfortable with, and the first name which comes to my mind is HUL. I've been reading other day how managements of Britannia and Marico are so concerned about Q1 which has gone so bad, and management is talking negative. And here HUL is going up mainly because people feel that you should get into defensives. But because of less rains, we are seeing that rural economy is not picking up. I believe, and we are seeing also that now at higher levels, HUL is forming fresh short positions around 910, 920 levels. Friday it did corrected around 2.5-3%. I feel further correction is left in HUL. So I would be negative on FMCG, both on ITC and HUL more aggressively.
Siddharth, TCS of course disappointed, largely unexpected lines, and we saw the stock reaction as well. But now all build-up will be on Infosys. Any kind of trading strategy that you would advise, given the kind of option pricing that we have?
Anuj, we were expecting Infosys to hold on to this range of 960, 970 support and 1020, 1030 as resistance, but it has given up that range, and thanks to what was happening in TCS. We don't have any specific strategy in Infosys at this point of time. But certainly I am not expecting huge downside from current levels in these counters. Last week also we have been mentioning of buying Wipro at lower levels, and that is the stock, if you look at, has outperformed its other peers. It is showing strength, it is showing formation of long position. So instead of concentrating on Infosys, I would buy Wipro and trade with positive bias over there.
Okay, so Siddharth, on the long side, you've given us some ideas. On the short side, also you've given us some ideas. But what about something like a bank Nifty or even the Nifty? You said that you haven't generated a trade on the Nifty yet, but on the bank Nifty, have you generated any trade?
No, but we have been very aggressive in some of the components. Like, ICICI Bank, we have been selling at rise. We have formed some pair trades which had worked, like long Kotak Bank, short Yes Bank, PSU banks we have been buying. But Bank Nifty, again, we are at the resistance of 18,700, 18,800. And Bank Nifty has been, slightly outperforming Nifty. But even if this outperform continues, and if Bank Nifty breaches this resistance of 18,800, the next resistance is very near, which is 19,100. So it is not compelling us to form a fresh long position there also, because the upside also is looking quite limited. So index wise, we have not been active in market since quite some time, but stock wise, yes.
All right, Siddharth, thanks for that. I'm sure you'd want to run off and watch the Wimbledon as well, so we'll let you go and we'll do the same. Let's wrap up with this show on that note, but before we do that, Agam Vakil, our colleague, is here to tell us about all the key events that you need to watch out for next week. Agam.
So with all the volatility that we've seen so far, the coming week is going to be pretty important, given we are looking at a lot of data coming in. Let's start off on Monday, where we're expecting the markets to react to the Eurogroup's meetings with respect to the Greece proposal, which will be tabled on Sunday. Plus, we will also have China, which will release its trade balance numbers, where we could expect some volatility there as well. When it comes to Rohan markets, we'll have the IIP numbers, which will release on the weekend. Plus, India will react to the CPI numbers as well. Coming to stock-specific action, we will have Vedanta Ken, which will react to LIC's decision on the merger. We will also have reactions to quarterly earnings from IndusInd Bank and Syntex. Moving on to Tuesday, we have the India trade data. We're also keeping an eye on Nestle versus FSSI case taking up in Bombay High Court again. And we will also have the US core retail sales, plus China again will release its GDP plus industrial production numbers. Moving on to Wednesday, we have the Bank of Japan press conference, where we will have an indication of the country's monetary policy. Plus, we're also having the two-day FOMC meet begin, where we will have the chairman Janet Yellen testify. Plus, we will have the Z Entertainment numbers coming in through as well. Thursday, we have the US unemployment claims, plus the ECB press conference with respect to the Greek crisis. And finally, as far as Friday goes, we are looking at ECC as well as the US CPI numbers releasing, and that's what we have in terms of the week ahead.
All right, Agam, thanks so much for that. So those are all the key events that you need to watch out for next week. But now Anuj and me are going to run off to catch the Wimbledon. So thanks for watching the show. We'll see you again on Monday.